everybody, so it is a cleaning day in the Lind household. Should have been yesterday, but we had to stop what we were doing so I could take my husband to the ER because he was injured. So I'm going to take a quick break from cleaning. I'm going to talk about how I told my husband that I needed dentures, because a lot of you guys are very nervous about telling your spouse or, long-term partner that you're going to have to lose your teeth and you're going to get dentures and it is going to be permanent. And I'm sure that a lot of things are buzzing in your head on how all of that can transpire in the most painless way possible. This video is sponsored by Ivoclar Vivadent. And if you don't know who Ivoclar Vivadent is, I mention them a lot on my channel. They sponsor a lot of my content here. The link is in the description box. It's www.morethanAdenture.com. But they are a dental manufacturing company that make a lot of the products that the dental professionals use to treat patients like us. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you why my husband ended up having to go to the emergency room last night and do a little story time, because I think it kind of ties into what I'm talking about here. So the first thing that I had to tell him about was my teeth, and that was the hardest part. That's something that I didn't even openly share with my closest friends and family, like people that I'd known my entire life. It was very difficult for me to talk to my parents about it, to tell my sister, and me and my sister are like super close. It was just not something that I liked to discuss with people. I oftentimes shied away from any topic to do with teeth. If anybody else mentioned that they were going to the dentist or they had a toothache, like I would start to feel anxiety building up. Like my heart would start racing. It was very difficult. Nova's in the back. I got my kids cleaning up with me, so you'll see them popping in and out. But so it was not something that I wanted to do, but I knew it was something that I absolutely had to do. And at that point, we had been married for a few months, but together for about 4 years. And I had been kind of spiraling because my tooth chipped off before our wedding. Like one of my front teeth, it chipped off like right before our wedding, and that was just horrific. And that whole year the condition just got so much worse. I was pregnant with our third child, and everything just started going downhill pretty rapidly, and I knew that I had to do something about it. And so that was the year 2010 that I started really researching like what needed to be done. Like what could I realistically do? In a perfect world, I would have all the money that I need to get them all restored, or get implants, crown and bridge work and all of that, but it's not a perfect world and I didn't have the money for it. And so I realized that I was going to need to get dentures. That was the only solution to my problem. The constant pain that I was in, the abscesses, teeth just so brittle that they break off after eating, something very simple like a sandwich or whatever. So I had, made my mind up that this is something that I had to do for myself. But first I had to explain to my husband, because, he needed to be there with me through the process. Like he's my partner. Like we're in this for life, come what may. Like whatever happens, like he's going to be involved in those things. So it was hard. I think that I had spent the day crying. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I called him into the living room when he got off of work, and I sat him down and I explained it to him that, my teeth are in a really bad state. And at this point, there's really not much that I can do to save them. And this is the only option. I was a mess. Like I was pouring tears while telling him all of this. And I'm kind of like, I'm a hypochondriac. And so a lot of times I tend to take things to the extreme. Like I think the worst case scenario when it comes to like health conditions. And so his initial reaction, it wasn't exactly what I expected in the moment, but looking back, I can see how he would go there with it. After telling him that, he was like, no, you don't need dentures. Because as I've mentioned many times in my videos, I had already spent months and months gathering up information about this, and I knew myself better than anybody else did. So he was still in that mind frame that, dentures are for, elderly people, and that is the worst case scenario, and young people don't get dentures because, as far as he knew, nobody that he knew had dentures. And so it was not something that he was immediately able to accept in that moment. He thought that I was being a little bit extreme. But then when I started to explain even further, I still don't think that he entirely believed that that was what needed to happen, but he listened to me and he was like, well, whatever it is that you have to do, if it's that, then, you know, I'm going to support you. And that was such a huge relief. The thing is, when I told him that I needed dentures, I was still hiding my teeth. I was still, when I talk to anybody, whether it's him or my parents, my sister, anybody that I meet, I had trained myself to, you know, you would not see any of these teeth. Like I would talk with my mouth very much closed. And so even though I was explaining to him how bad the decay was, I still was not ready to show him that. That was the moment that I broke the ice with him about it and explained how bad it was. And it was really difficult. Fast forward a little bit, I found a local dentist after Googling economy dentures. That was something that he advertised, and it was Coastal Dental here in Jacksonville. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I think that he's still in business. I went to the consultation and they told me that I do need dentures, and that, you know, was very difficult to hear, but it was the confirmation that I needed that, you know, I hadn't exaggerated anything. This is what needs to happen, and I needed to go ahead and make peace with it and figure out, you know, how I'm going to pay for it. So he gave me the treatment plan, and at that point I didn't have the money for it, and so I had to get my parents to finance the work. So I came home and I told my husband that yes, I did need dentures. It was like a load off of my shoulders. Just like a weight had been lifted off of me, because now I was able to fully process what I was about to have to go through, and I knew that he was on board and supported me. Then it got to be the day of extractions, and I didn't want him to go with me. Like, he could have taken off work that day, but I didn't know what was gonna happen, and my sister is like my comforter. She's my ride or die, so I wanted my sister to go with me to the appointment for the extractions. And so that morning before we left and before he left for work, I made a quick decision to show him and my sister what my teeth looked like up close, because I knew that that was the day that they were going to be pulled. They were going to be gone. I'd never be able to show him again. And I just wanted him to know, like, all of the times that I, you know, tried to get out of going somewhere by saying I had a headache, or, you know, making excuses about things. He could understand why I was doing those things. That's another thing I've talked about a lot on here, is like kind of how your behavior changes to, you know, cope with the fact that your teeth are rotting and you're in pain all the time and you're still too embarrassed to tell people that that's the reason. So I just wanted him to see, like, what I had gone through, why my confidence was so low, why I was, you know, I had such poor self-esteem, because up to that point, I don't think that he realized how bad it was. And him and my sister, like, they gasped, and they felt so bad that I had been hiding that for so long. But he just hugged me and gave me a kiss and told me that everything was gonna be okay. And then I went off to get the extractions, and he was the one that was right beside me when I came home, mouth full of gauze. You've seen the picture on here many times before. Blood, you know, drooling blood, and just completely out of it. And he'd just lay there and stroke my hair and, you know, give me water, give me my medication, and make sure that I was okay. And at no point has he ever made me feel like I was less of a person or somehow undeserving of love and affection and support because of what I had to go through. He has truly been an amazing support for me. And so you guys know that I ended up, you know, coming on YouTube and sharing my story with the world. And so not only does he know and has been through everything that I've gone through with this, like right beside me, but all of his friends and family know what I do here on YouTube. All of them, everybody that he meets, that he ends up, you know, having some kind of friendship with, they all are completely aware of the fact that his wife lost all of her teeth, wore removable dentures for a couple years, and now has a, you know, full mouth of implant supported bridges or hybrids or whatever. And nobody has ever cracked jokes. Nobody's ever clowned him for being with somebody that lost their teeth. My mother-in-law, you can hear her in the background. You know, I was able to support her when she had to go through the same thing. She had to get dentures and she didn't know where to start. And so I was able to educate her and my mom and many other friends and family that ended up having to go through the same thing that I went through. And here's the thing, this is the little story. So yesterday, he had some random pain in his third toe. He tried to push through it. You know, we took a break from cleaning, we ate lunch, we got in the pool, but the pain was just getting unbearable for him. And he's a tough guy. Like, you would never know that he's in actual pain. He's not like those memes you see where husbands, you know, just act like they're dying because they're sick. Like, he's not like that. He really does tough things out. So if he says he's in pain, then you know he's in pain. And then throughout the day, his foot started to swell, like his entire foot started to swell. So we finally made the decision last night to go to the emergency room because we didn't know what was going on. Is it an infection? Is it spreading? Is it an allergic reaction? Is there a clot in his leg? Like, anything could be going on. And so last night, I, you know, am walking with him into the emergency room, and he's like got his arm around me, hobbling, and I'm supporting him to take him into the emergency room. And I can't tell you how many times me and him have been there for each other through situations like that. You know what I mean? Like, just random situations, embarrassing moments, like the ins and out, like we are each other's people. We know each other. We don't know why his foot swelled up. He has to see his doctor. They gave him, you know, a bandage and some crutches and said, take some ibuprofen, good luck. But they ruled out the major things. So at least there wasn't anything bad. But I'm sharing that with you because, you know, when it comes to dating and it's somebody that you don't really know like that, I can see how you might want to conceal it, and, you know, you'd be very much worried to know what they would think of you and how they might judge you. But when it comes to somebody that you are married to or you're committed to and have been with for a long time or intend to be with for a long time, then you want to know that that person has got your back, because you have no idea what life is going to throw at either one of you. And it might be you and dentures today and them and dentures tomorrow, or them and some other condition, some other, you know, ailment or, you know, health condition that you're going to have to be prepared to support them through. Life is not easy. Like, things happen to people, and the people that love us are going to be there with us. They're going to be there to support us through those moments. And that's something that I can definitely say about my husband, is that he's one of those people that when it gets tough, when it gets hard, he's not bailing out on me. He's not running away. He's the one that's right there by my side, stroking my hair with my puffy, chipmunk looking face and telling me that it's going to be okay. You've got this. So that's how I was able to share with my husband that I needed to get dentures. He never judged me. He always supported me. And that's what you want. You want to be able to share those things with your partner so that they can support you, and you know, like, you know, I picked the right one. They're going to be there for me no matter what happens. If they don't support you, if they do judge you and they want to leave you because of this situation, then I can guarantee you it wasn't the teeth that was a problem in your relationship. There was some other thing, and this was just, you know, they're out. Because I think it's crazy, you know, for something that you can't control to be a factor in why a person doesn't want to be with you. They must be very short-sighted and not realize that life is going to play them a dirty hand one day, that they're going to hope that they have somebody there to ride for them through it. So I hope that this helps. Let me know how it went for you guys when you shared with your partner that you needed dentures. I mean, I have heard some sad stories of how people have left, but you know what? That's a blessing in disguise. As painful as it is, and as much as you would want them to support you, if they're not going to, then you want them to go now so that you can find somebody that will support you, or just find peace on your own and find healing on your own, because sometimes it's better to be alone than to be with the wrong person, especially if they're not supportive and just, you know, kind of make all of these difficult things that happen in life that much harder. Share your story below. Did you find the support that you needed in your partner when you revealed that you needed dentures, or were they one of the ones that bailed and said that they couldn't take it? Let me know. Next week, I'm gonna share how to support a loved one that needs dentures. And so if you're watching this and one of your loved ones needs dentures, this is a video that you don't wanna miss. Or if you're the one that needs dentures and you don't know how to tell your partner how to support you, this is something that you could share with them. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you get the alert when I post that video. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you give it a like, share it with somebody who might need to hear it. Maybe you've got a best friend that's been confiding in you that they need dentures and they're nervous about telling their partner. Share this with them. All of my social links are posted in the description box below, and I'm going to get back to cleaning. I've already popped off so many nails. That's why I can't do nails, because I can't keep them nice. They always fall apart. So anyways, that's the video, and I will see you guys again next week, and y'all take care.